What does it say about a deal, a hostage swap deal, when the bad guys are saying it's kind of good for them? Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto, and I knew this was just a matter of time. You get a questionable swap, you know, one of our supposedly good soldiers for 5 of their bad guys, that people would start talking about it. Well, I want you to consider this quote from a top Taliban insurgent talking to a Time magazine editor. It is better to kidnap one person like Bergdalh than kidnapping hundreds of useless people. He goes on to say that it has encouraged our people. Now everybody will work hard to capture such an important bird. And then you consider the fact that we have the North Koreans detaining yet another American, they say, is just doing questionable things. Now, the Americans doing nothing questionable. But all of this on the heels of this deal. Proof that it's a bad deal and proof that we've got more bad stuff like this down the pike. To President Bush 41's Deputy Defense Undersecretary Jed Babin, Lieutenant Colonel Bob McGinnis, and terror expert Brigitte Gabriel. Brigitte, this is just the kind of thing you worry about, that one bad deal or one time the enemy sees that maybe you're blinking, they pounce. Are they pouncing?
Yes, they are pouncing, and they feel empowered no matter where our enemies are. They are now sharing information together, not working together. And let's not forget that whether it's Iran or the Taliban or North Korea, right now they are sharing information and watching how the United States is reacting. We know that Iran and North Korea, for example, have been working together on different projects and coming together against the United States. So right now, our people all over the world are easy pick and easy target for our enemies.
Do you agree with that, Colonel, that this deal has made targets of our soldiers, or is that a stretch, that they were always vulnerable to attacks because of just wearing the uniform?
Well, Neil, when you get 5 generals for a private, that's a pretty good deal in my book. And, you know, there's no question that they have a playbook on, you know, President Obama. You know, you just look at Benghazi and how we've bungled Ukraine, look at Libya, look at Syria and the red lines across the world. The North Koreans know we're fools for what we've been doing, so they can grab someone. But I'm most concerned about the 30,000 kids that we have in Afghanistan. You know, with the deadline, we're going to be out of there by 2016. You know, and Taliban with the, you know, intelligence people in Pakistan want to keep it unstable. They'll just start pulling people off the streets, and that's going to be a tough thing for even this administration, which acts like a frat house on foreign policy. They won't even be able to deal with it. We are in trouble.
Ted, you know the Israeli intelligence folks better than I do, but they always say that we forget that anyone left at Gitmo, even now, even if they're released, they're sworn to kill and kill again. That's what they've got to do, and whatever promises they make, their mission is to always be soldiers for the cause, and that if they slip away from that cause, they'll kill themselves for doing that. So we have to suspect then that these 5 released now in Qatar are going to be up to trouble again, right?
Well, I mean, it's obvious, Neil. I bet their plane was met by a bunch of guys that gave them each a cell phone and a laptop, and they're probably back in business already. It's like Bob said, this is not just a couple of schlemiels that didn't have their bombs go off at the right time. These are top Taliban leaders. I'm sure they're back in business by now, and despite what the president said, this is a great danger to American national security, not just in kidnapped Americans, but in attacks on American soil.
But, Brigitte, isn't it assuming from this top lieutenant that talked, a named lieutenant talked to Time magazine, when he said now everybody will work hard to capture such an important bird, in other words, another U.S. soldier that can bring great bang for the buck, or the kidnapping buck. Do you buy that, or is that just a lot easier said than done?
Oh, no, I do buy that, because we cannot underestimate our enemy at this point. We know that they are smart, and they are actually way ahead of us right now, because while our enemies are learning their lessons from the way we have been reacting to this war on terror for the last 12 years, it looks like the White House, and particularly this administration, is not learning any lesson. And this is why we are more and more in danger. And let's face it, I just read a report this morning that another Taliban leader said that already the 5 who have been released are now already back in meeting and coordinating with the people on the ground. So we know they are already getting back involved in attacking the United States. And they will be treated like heroes, and they will earn the respect of all their followers because they served their time in Gitmo.
You know, Colonel, I've looked at this deal from the purview of a business nerd. Like I look at corporate deals, and I look at what do we get out of it, what do they get out of it. And I've had a devil of a time trying to think what we get out of it. Yes, I know we get a soldier back home, and we want all soldiers to come back home, even if their conduct was questioned, what have you. But I also know that we get 5 bad guys not too keen on us, back looking at us again. So I'm thinking of that, how we've emboldened the bad guys, and I'm thinking, what was the upside of this deal? Am I missing something? Is it just a larger effort to eventually shut down Gitmo, to say the hell with our role abroad? What is it?
Yeah, I think it is, one, poor management of the whole situation. Two, to get rid of Gitmo, which has been the president's objective from his campaign in 2008.
But stop yourself right there, Colonel. How would releasing these 5 mean we get rid of Gitmo? We will make the argument, well, we got rid of the 5 most dangerous guys there, so by comparison, these other guys aren't so dangerous, so shut it down.
Well, Neil, they want to do it, and they're probably going to do it in the near future. Yeah, we've been talking with these people in various countries, trying to find places of harbor that will take them off our hands. There's no question that, if President Obama can do it, he will shut down this place. And geopolitically, this is disastrous. Chinese have a playbook on us, North Koreans, obviously Iranians, the Syrians, everybody. And we look like fools. We look naive. We don't look as if we're the type of nation that is going to come to the defense of its own people. Yeah, trading 5 generals for 1 private. What's going to happen when they steal an entire plane load of people? What can we give up at that point?
Jed, I don't think any of this happens in a vacuum, though, and I think foreigners read American polls that show that Americans are weary of conflicts, and maybe weary of future engagements. And so the president could have been acting on that and said this could be much ado about nothing, but that the world is getting a sense from the leadership to the American people themselves, we're just not into policing the world. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it's worse than that, Neil, honestly. I think James Monroe, one of the founding fathers, said weakness is provocative, and we are provoking our enemies into action. We're sitting here and saying, well, we're going to release 5 of the top Taliban in order to get this 1 guy back, and at the same time, we're going to leave 9,800 troops in Afghanistan until 2016 when, oh, by the way, there's an election. So what we're looking at here is, well, Bo Bergdalh may be a deserter, and in fact, Obama is abandoning 9,800 troops to see who is going to be the last guy to die in a war we don't intend to win. Each is a metaphor for the other.
Wow. And you should know about the Monroe thing. You interviewed him, right? I think it was. But
right after the signature of the Declaration. Yeah.
I kid you. Guys, thank you both, all of you very much. I apologize.